Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
Laxman wants to know if you can view the charts. Yes. Raghee was showing you, if you go to www.ise.com/FX, you can click on the particular pairs that you're interested in. You can get the charts. You can also get the option chains. And there's a great place. If you just want to go, you can go to the ISE and do it, or you can go to www.livevol.com. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can just go right to the ISE, www.ise.com/FX, and you can get the chart. I just have to just type, Raghee, a quick question. Sorry about that. Sometimes technology is great because I'm sure there are many of you that are in Asia, in Europe, in Canada, South America, Mexico, wherever you are. So you're listening to us, and sometimes we have a technology little blip here, and Raghee's having a slight problem, but she'll call in. Once she calls in, we'll be good to go, and I know it'll be worth the wait. Paresh wants to know, trading options, does it involve, great question, Paresh, does it involve interest payments as in regular Forex? No, absolutely not. Let me explain why. Every time you're trading an option, the market makers understand what the risk-free rates are, and they actually price that into the option. So you don't have to worry about that, Paresh. So that's a great question. You don't have to worry about debiting or crediting your account every night. When you buy an option, the most you could lose is what you paid for the option. If you sell an option, well, you're going to need a margin account, but essentially you can have limited risk. Unfortunately, we lost Raghee again. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to answer as many questions, and hopefully Raghee will be back soon. I'm sure she'll be back very, very soon. Dan has a question. Do I purchase these options with my Forex or futures broker? No, Dan. Some of the brokers would be, and I'll go through a couple of them, Options Express, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, TradeStation, Thinkorswim, Stifel Nicholas. These are kind of brokers that you can be trading this through. Of course, there's many, many brokers out there. Trade King, many, many brokers. Charles Schwab, of course. That's the way you're going to access the ISE-FX options. Is the same way that you trade a Google option, an IBM option, you'd be trading these FX options. Hopefully Raghee's going to call in. TD Ameritrade, of course. TD Ameritrade, yes. Laxman, thank you. Daniel wants to know, if you wanted to create a position like a covered call, how would you do that? Well, what you could do is you could actually trade what are called call spreads. You can create a buy one call, sell another call, and that would create sort of that risk reward like you'd have in a covered call. But the difference would be is that you have limited risk when you do the call spread. When you do the covered call, you end up with a lot more risk. Rose wants to know how you can get the volatility of the option. Well, if you go to www.ise.com/FX, you can click on, first of all, the widget is really amazing. You can download the widget to your desktop. It has the 6 pairs. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to charts and the options, and you'll be able to see, as Raghee just showed you. Dan wants to know what the advantage is to trading these as opposed to trading futures options on currencies. Well, Dan, again, they're products for everyone, but I think this is a wonderful way to trade with limited risk right through your equity options broker. And if you notice, the bid-ask spreads on those options on the futures, if you will, the future options are going to be much wider. And if you're talking about options where you trade in that spot world, where you're trading with the these various spot exchanges, then you're going to be trading with those brokers themselves, and you can imagine the integrity isn't as great as you'd have at the ISE. So I think that you're going to realize that the bid-ask spreads will be much tighter here, and this is cash settled, and you'll be able to trade out with another retail investor. You wouldn't have to be trading with the that firm, if you will. I mean, we at the IC will never trade with your orders. John has a question as we wait for Raghee to come back in. John, yeah, Raghee, I think you need to log in again because unfortunately I can't hear you. All right, here's a question from John. Who do we have to register to trade these options? Well, no registration necessary. What you need to have is an equity options brokerage account. So I think I mentioned more than a half a dozen brokers. I mean, there are probably dozens and dozens of them. Any firm that allows you to trade options will allow you to trade these ISE-FX options. So if you're trading an option on Google or Microsoft or any other company, again, Scottrade, yes, I believe you can trade through Scottrade, Alexander. You just want to ask there. I mean, I haven't talked to those. I believe that you can trade through Scottrade. You want to just type in the symbol. And this is a good point. Sometimes at the different firms, you're going to have a different format. It could be $EUI.X. I know at some brokers it's just as simple as typing in that EUI or the other pairs that you see on your screen there. Let's see if Raghee's back. Raghee, you're there?
I hope so.
Yes, Cameron has a question. Options Express, of course. Great, great. All right, Raghee, let me allow you to be the presenter.
All right.
All right, thanks again.
No, thanks for your
perseverance.
patience. No, thanks for your patience. Okay, so again, gang, thank you for your patience. I hope anytime you get to pick Steve's brain, please do so. I can't tell you how much I've learned from him. So I hope we have good volume here now, and I'm going to attempt to get the screen captured. And what we're going to do today, and let me get the screen capture going here. So my hope is that you guys can see my chart now.
Yep.
Fantastic. Again, thank you everyone for your patience. You guys got some great information from Steve. Again, please use the ISE website as a terrific resource. I know I do. We're going to use it here today as well. So let's start off with this chart and talk a little bit about how I trade options. We've got a little bit of catching up to do, but we've got plenty of time to do it. So again, thanks for your patience. One of the biggest mistakes I see new option traders make is that they don't try to understand, number one, when to actually get into options, what are the ideal times. Because just like any kind of trading vehicle, in my opinion, there's a time and place for each. Now, I love the timing of our presentation here today because we're really going to be talking about, I think, the best way to capitalize on this market right now. I'm showing you a chart of the euro-US dollar. This is the spot right now. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that are scratching their head looking at what's happening in this market, the kind of volatility, how the market can get very quiet, as you can see here, let's say over the past week, and then just explode. This is the kind of environment that I love to trade options in. And let's talk about this for a moment. You're not going to hear me talk about deltas and things like that, mainly because as a chart trader, as a technician and a chartist, my preference is to understand what the underlying market cycle is. Now, a couple things. Whatever your current experience in options is right now, and right now you should see a chart of the EUI symbol, which is the US dollar, euro dollar. So hopefully you see that right now. You guys can just type Y into the chat, so I know we're on the same page. But you should see the $ EUI symbol right now. These are, by the way, just e-signal charts. Thank you very much for the feedback there, Andy, David, Mina. Thank you very much. VJ.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.